So if you're thinking, I've done too much, you don't know what I've done, you don't know who I've hurt, you don't know where I've been, what I've put into my body, what I've said to people, oh, what I've done. And you know what? I don't, and I don't need to. Because the one who knows you best loves you most. I was hanging out to watch a movie by Denzel Washington. And you guys just saw it on the weekend. I saw it on Facebook as well. I had it on pre-order for 4 months, maybe 5 months to see it. Denzel Washington is a very bold witness in Hollywood for Jesus. He's a very outspoken Christian. Doesn't mean that he plays Christian roles, but he does play roles that reflect the gospel in some way. And in this movie, he tells the story of a wealthy man who took on an orphan, a street orphan. And the orphan could not believe how kind he was being treated by this man. And so the orphan played up, and the orphan would do things to rile the man and his wife who had brought him into their home. And the more he misbehaved and the more abuse he gave them, the more they loved him. The more they showed him patience and kindness. And eventually, the character that Denzel Washington plays says, eventually it broke him. The love of this wealthy man broke him. And he recognized that he was loved. That's not where the story ends, by the way, that Denzel Washington says. But as I was hearing him say this, I thought, isn't that like God and us? Despite what we do, He loves us, He loves us, He loves us. And when Solomon was in the temple on the weekend worshipping God, through the week he was building temples to other gods. He was bowing down before idols. His heart was being taken away by things that God had forbidden, and yet God's love kept reaching out to him. And so many of us have a picture that God will only love me if I do this, do that, do this, do that. And I've got to tell you, you'll hear me say it over and over and over again, Christianity is not spelt D-O. God did not put His love on you for anything that you did. And so for you who are here today who think God doesn't love me anymore because I've done something that makes me unlovable, you need to recognize that's not why He loved you in the first place. He loved you undeservedly, unconditionally. And even those two words, let them bounce around in your head for the rest of your life. He loves me undeservedly. He loves me unconditionally. There's not a thing I've done to merit His love.